Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Oracle Ong and this is a personal reading for a dear friend A, and he's asking a question about his life's purpose. He actually received very bad news about his career early in January, and I think we were all dealing with bad news around the world, natural disaster, virus, a continent that was burning in January. But of course, when something hits you on a very profound personal level, that also um, needs a lot of, invites a lot of reflection and a lot of soul searching about what needs to be done, how you can heal, and I want to blend in some astrology to this tarot reading as well. I'll get to the cards in a while, but I went through your natal chart and found out that A is a Virgo sun. Of course, Virgo being known for being very earthy, very organized, always like regimented, and loves routine and ritual and creation, and also healing. Virgo is, of course, a sign of medicine and physical healing. But what excited me most about A's chart is that his moon is in Pisces. And I'm also a Pisces moon, and Pisces moon are known to be the most psychic of the zodiac. We are attuned to the spiritual world. We're attuned to what lies beyond and what lies next. And looking at also the time of his birth and what the moon phase was precisely at A's time of birth, I found out that, and I'll draw from my moon oracle card just to visualize that energy. And it is a full moon. He was born under the Pisces full moon, and it says here in the oracle card, fulfillment. So it is about the fulfillment of the Pisces purpose, which is not physical healing, which is Virgo sun, but spiritual healing and emotional healing. And I think it's so profound that your chart has both Virgo in your sun, so that really should drive your actions, that will give you most excitement and enthusiasm and meaning, deep personal meaning. Um, Something that will excite you when you wake up each day. It's about to help other people and to build things for them and with them through Virgo. But at the same time, your natural, intuitive, personal, very natural kinds of energies are also for healing in a spiritual sense. Um, I'm reading this book, moon phase astrology, and under the Pisces full moon, which the book calls the healer's moon. um, One of the most evocative quotes here is that all healing is first a healing of the heart. And I think um, I'm sure you are somebody who is most fulfilled, most happy when you're out there helping someone else, helping your family, your loved one, your significant other. Um, that's what excites you. That's what gives you purpose. You should turn that energy inward too. You should allow yourself to be healed and give um, give yourself some space to really process and mourn this very bad news about your life. Um, but allow yourself the time to breathe into your heart space, right? Um, take what, 5 minutes each day just to deep breathing, breathe into the wounds in your heart. You've got such a big giving heart, and you need to allow yourself that own generosity, that own compassion for yourself. Um, I'm so as I said, I'm a Pisces moon, and I'm gonna look for that crystal that helps me. Um, this is prehnite, Prehnita. And prehnite is a crystal that is meant to heal the healer. So I've noticed like Reiki practitioners and also those working um, in hospitals like nurses carry prehnite with them. So a prehnite in their pocket, and that helps them regenerate their energies and to not be so depleted, right? So this season, and we're entering Pisces season. So my message for you that in this season in particular, allow yourself some space to not externalize this healing energy, not to spend that energies to your significant other or your family or your friends, or even like to general kind of projects or service to a general other, a generalized other. Try to gather up some of that and reserve some of that energy for yourself. And think about getting prehnite, which is a very beautiful green crystal that is meant to heal also your heart chakra and give energy to that. So now I'll go into from astrology, let's move to tarot and see what the messages are. I've already drawn 6 cards, so just to shortcut this process a little bit. And this is the first card that I drew. The Lovers. The Lovers came out in the reverse. And so this is the central energy that you're working with. And the second card that connects to that is Temperance. So 2 very powerful central cards. So the first 2 cards in a Celtic cross spread, which I'm doing, refers to the major energies that you're trying to reconcile and perhaps kind of conflicting energies that need to be harmonized at this moment. And what the 2 key themes that these cards together bring would be about choice, about purpose, about kind of like a soulmate kind of energy, like a true direction, like what is my true north. And also, the secondary theme is one of balance. As you can see, there's elements of 2 in both cards. 2 lovers and also like 2 substances, 2 liquids that are being merged, that are being mixed. In the case of the lovers, it's about a merging of 2 bodies. It's hard to tell where one starts and where the other begins. Sorry, and where it ends and the other begins. So a kind of fusion that's happening there, and temperance here as well. This one, it's more about synthesis. You could tell that there's a deliberate, very precise kind of mixture that and blend that is being that is being attempted here. That tries to achieve harmony, that tries to achieve balance, and also achieves integrity, something that will be respectful of both kinds of substances, both kinds of energies. So I think with your question about life's purpose and our issue about healing, I think the issue here is about a profound decision that needs to happen. Perhaps it's about proper disentangling as well. Like, what is a proper way of trying to detach in a sincere, in a respectful, and a kind of meaningful way. And I think detachment is important um, because the card came out in the reverse, right? So there's an element here that something needs to be discarded that, hey, um, two beings that have come together, and that could refer here really more significantly to your career, as this is a professional question, right? A professional matter that you're asking about. That the challenge is one of disentangling, and not so much a complete break and a complete separation, but what is like proper boundaries? What is a proper distance that needs to happen between me and my objective, between me and my career? I need to create kind of a proper space and hold some space that is respectful of my energies, that's respectful of my integrity and my personal value. That I will not be defined by the demands, the constraints put on me by the other, by this career, by this goal that I have. That I should have value and self-respect, right, on my own terms, and I should own up to that. And the fact that temperance is the card that, to me, is like the card that is the virtue to help you with the task of separation, the task of proper distance, the task of creating proper boundaries. Temperance here is about finding the right balance. So, Pisces moon. Pisces moon is always drawn by intuition, by feelings, by giving. It's such a flowing kind of energy, outwards. It's always other centered. Temperance is asking you keep some of that for yourself. I also like the fact that it's liquids here that are being mixed, which kind of also gives me that sense. The message that's coming to me is one of like hot and cold. Um, so, like two different temperatures that need to be harmonized, and you need to kind of like um, uh, get at the right spot for you to, drink and spill that tea. So, so think about that. How, as you create the separation, as you find, and this does not mean like turning away completely, right? This just needs also, um, as I said, like hold space, meaning give yourself time, give yourself time to grieve, time to process, time to process those terms, and those boundaries. What exactly would need to be reinforced, and what can be let go of? Yeah. So think about on the principle of balance, the principle of right temperature, of hot and cold, not too hot, not too cold, not too emotional, but also not too outward, enough for yourself as well. So, so that's my advice to you. And and I've got the two cards here that are about your current feelings, and both are cups. It's so interesting, and it's a of cups and the five of cups. These are your present energies. What lovers and temperance are going through, feeling through at the moment. And these are cups of feelings. On one hand, deep personal failure and grief. So, Five of Cups is a card of loss. And it's such an interesting card here, right? Like, she is really dwelling in her emotions, and really embracing the sadness. She's not looking at the rainbow or the upright cups that are just behind her if she chooses, right? So it's an invitation to hope. It's also an invitation to discern. Four of Cups. I love this image in the Sasuraibito tarot. As you can see, um, with this lady. Again, she's making an active choice to embrace the darkness, ignore the four cups that are available to her, four opportunities that are available to her. And look at her hair as well. It's kind of like wrapped around her neck. That is almost kind of like keeping her perspective stuck in one direction. Doesn't look very comfortable, right? And so it's a card of discernment. It's a card of stuckness. What is it that gives you passion? What is it that gives you purpose? And why are you choosing to dwell on that darkness? I mean, as Pisces moon, we are so drawn into mess, right? That's such a Pisces moon trait that we're happiest actually when we're kind of a little sad and a little bit hurt. That it gives us this odd sense of purpose, like when we're being hurt and we've been disappointed, like we feel most alive there. Let's look at the other cards. I'm not sure what exactly it's asking from you, but for both cards, there's an invitation to hope and to discern properly what it is that gives you purpose. So I looked at your past and near future, recent past and near future cards. Recent past, look, it's Ace of Pentacles, and this is your Virgo. Pentacles is Virgo. Pentacles is Earth. It's coins. It's material possession. It's about creation and resources. And the resources in her third eye, as you can see, the pentacle is on her third eye. So that's what's giving her purpose. This is your Virgo energy. You want to create something. You've devoted your life into trying to build something. Um, Create this fertile, flourishing garden in your mind, right? And as you can see, those flowers. And this was the beginning of a journey for you. Ace is a card of beginnings. You were so excited to start something, um, and of course, with what's happened, there's loss, there's disappointment, there's depression. And look at your card in the near future. It's the it's the Hierophant. It represents the Pope, the Catholic Pope actually, but it more than the literal representation of the Pope. It's a card that represents tradition, authority, institution, higher learning, and it represents academia as a traditional mode of knowledge production, and it came out in the reverse. So, um, and I think to me that reinforces the story that we have of uh, we might have invested in this institution um, a lot of energies to starting something as Ace of Pentacles in this institution, and the Hierophant can also come out as a very sinister energy. It's a very judgmental energy. It's about in its worst expression, it's about conformity. Um, it can also be about um, being stuck in the past. So the Hierophant um, coming out in the reverse um, to me is about acknowledging the limitations um, of that institution, challenging some of that, and also trying to look at energies beyond that. So the fact that it's in your near future gives me some sense of hope in the sense that it will remain as an important presence in your life. That it's not going to go away. So had I encountered a card in that a sixth card, had I drawn a card, that is about like travel or something, or something that depicts a different kind of energy, it will suggest to me that a change of career is needed. But the fact that Hierophant came out in the reverse is that this energy will still be present in your life. The fact that it came out in the reverse means a change of perspective and a change of personal engagement with it needs to happen. That you cannot re engage the Hierophant with the same kind of Ace of Pentacles spirit. That it's not a naive and not a kind of very junior kind of energy. That you need to bring some other energies into it. So let's look at 4 more cards. Wow. Very happy cards. I don't think they're gonna be extremely concrete in terms of where exactly you're going, but maybe you can figure that out. You might be able to read more into this. You might draw from your own, experiences and your own intuition. Come on, Pisces Moon. It's time to breathe into that, embrace that energy. Look, this is the card that represents you in the future. Knight of Cups, and Knight of Cups came out in the reverse. So Knight of Cups is a card that represents this dreamy romantic poet. This very emotional. Look at him. He's like super emo. He's got his notebook. He's ready to like write a book or write a journal article. Or also write like a love poem for his significant other. Um, Such a dreamy kind of energy, and it came out in the reverse. Knight of Cups in the reverse means ungrounded. Knight of Cups in the reverse means you're living in a fantasy world, right? And I think the fact that this came out in the position of where what you need to be doing, what energy you need to be channeling in the future, is that you need to be much more careful. You need to be much more lean into Virgo, lean into your Virgo sun. It's time to actually devote so much attention to detail, to ticking all those boxes, to coming up with those lists. It's not going to be solved by relationships. It's not going to be solved by being charming, and by being this outwardly giving Knight of Cups, healer kind of energy to everyone around him, you know? So you need to channel a different kind of energy and look at another knight, Knight of Wands. So this is the kind of energy that you need to channel. Look at that. He's hunky. He's ready for battle. Look at that armor, that helmet. I mean, he's bulking up, ready to take on burdens, and it's a card of fire, not water, not not going with the flow, not going with like what I've heard from other people, right? This is a card of real creativity, real passion. And so that's interesting. So it so it's about excitement, right? It's about a very dom top kind of energy. It's a kind of, I'm gonna take control over the situation, um, and it has to be a project. It has to be a direction that I can see myself waking up in the morning, like really wanting um, to invest energy into it, to invest my body into it as well. There's a certain physicality here that this one doesn't have, right? So I don't know whether that kind of jogs or gives you some associations. There's a physicality to it, there's a strength to it. Um, yeah, fire energies. I'm also thinking Aries, Sagittarius. What's the other fire sign? Leo. They could be good um, inspirations and also mentors in that journey of yours. Think of other Knights of Wands in your life. They could point you to that new direction. So fire signs, or young people, kind of like your age, who have that real passion about them. Um, and look at this beautiful card. So this is in your future. This is like a possible event in energy that you can depend on to help you in your decision making. It's a card of family. It's a card of literal family, but also chosen family. It's a card of community. Look at that. Um, Folks sitting around a campfire, connected to each other, connected to the universe. All the elements present here: fire, air, water, earth. Let's not forget earth. So, Ten of Cups. Lean into community, lean into people that have given you that permission to be yourself, who accept you for who you are. I think the theme of friends and chosen family are so key to your life. Look at this final card. Again, this is the card that kind of is the culmination to your question. My life's purpose. Three of Cups. It's a card of friendship. It's a card of like loving, energy, compassion, community, protection, nurturing. There's so many cups here. There's Four of Cups, Five of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, and Three of Cups. And each one kind of like getting better, right? And takes you through your emotional roller coaster, which starts from a position of loss to one of what is it that I want? What is it that I'm gonna choose to look at? Four of Cups. And then there's a Knight of Cups, which is like this dreamy, romantic, poetic, but also ungrounded, unfocused energy. And then you've got the card of family and the card of friends. They hold the answer. And I go back to your life's purpose of being a double healer, the physical healer of Virgo. Virgo is most fulfilled when connected and grounded by family, right? That they choose to help out those who are closest to them. But a Pisces healer is different. The Pisces healer's greatest emotional fulfillment, particularly the Pisces of the full moon, as you are, is about an impersonal kind of healing. It's about healing humanity, healing um, the suffering of others, healing those who are most vulnerable. Um, and for both kinds of aspects of yourself, the first challenge is to heal your own heart, to heal your own broken heart, to breathe into that, and to draw that energy from other people back to yourself, right? Make sure that when you go out in service for other people, you affirm yourself as well. I think that's going to help you make your decision as to where you're supposed to be in the future. There will be choices about those serving those closest to you versus serving those who are perhaps most deserving in a in an impersonal kind of way, um, but in the most profound and generous kind of spirit. Um, I drew a spirit animal card for you, and it's the crow spirit. The message is co-create with spirit. This is a very profound card. The crow also has, like in mythology, right? The crow has some negative connotations. The crow is a bearer of bad news. I think the fact that yeah, your situation, right, is one of dealing with the unexpected. Um, but the crow spirit is also about divine messages, about messages from otherworldly um, beings, from spiritual entities. And I think you should not forget your ability to connect to that. And the crow spirit invites you to reflect on other kinds of sources of truths. So not just the Hierophant truth, not just the knowledge of of the textbook, but the knowledge of the universe, of which you are most intimately familiar with as a child born of the Pisces full moon. So this season, this will be about you. This is Pisces season coming up, and it's time to listen. Time to listen to what the universe has in store for you. So I hope that resonates. I hope I didn't ramble. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to hearing from you. So good night.